Hey guys, I'm Amy and today we're going to be talking about how we can activate our glutes using the Bulgarian Split Squat. So the Bulgarian Split Squat is an amazing exercise. It hits your quads, your hip flexors, your core, and obviously it does hit your posterior chain, which is your glutes and your hamstrings. But with 3 tweaks to the execution of the movement, we can really make sure our glutes fire up throughout the whole exercise. Okay, so the first tip is going to be focusing on the distance between your front foot and your foot that's elevated on the bench. Okay, so a quick demonstration of what I usually see people do is a short distance between your 2 feet. So once your back foot is elevated on the bench, a lot of people don't then move their front foot any further forward, which then means when I go to perform the Bulgarian Split Squat, my knee then comes in front of my toe. As you can see there on the demonstration, my knee comes far in front of my toe. There's not a lot of space for any range of motion, which means I can't get that low. And there is a lot more pressure on my knee joint and my quad. There's not so much pressure on my glutes and my posterior chain. So what we want to change with that so that we hit more glutes as opposed to our quads is just to increase the distance from our front foot and our back foot. So it'll look like this. You'll get your back foot up on the bench. You'll then jump forward to quite a wide stance as far as your hip mobility will allow you. And then you'll just lower yourself into a squat from this position here. So as you can see from that movement there, my knee did not come in front of my toe. I was getting a lot lower, which means more glute activation. So tip number 2 is going to be all about your foot position of your front foot. Your back foot that's elevated on the bench, there's going to be no pressure through that whatsoever. That is literally you propping your foot up on the bench. The foot that's in front, that's where you're going to drive the movement through. So as you can see on the incorrect video, my heel is rocking up and I'm starting to get a little bit off balance. This is also going to cause more pressure to my knee and there's no drive through my posterior chain at all. So what you want to do, as you can see in the correct demonstration here, is keep your heel flat on the floor. As you can see, I'm way more stable here. I'm not rocking side to side, and it's also shifting a lot of my weight to my posterior chain, which then causes a lot of activation in your glutes and your hamstrings, opposed to your knee joint and your quads. Okay guys, so the third tip is all about your upper body posture when you perform the movement. As you can see on the first incorrect demonstration video, my back is very straight, my spine's neutral, my chest is out, everything looks good, except you can see that my glutes aren't really extending that much. I'm just lowering down into a squat and then back up. Whereas on the correct demonstration video, you can see that again, my core is engaged, my shoulders are back, and my spine is still neutral, but I'm actually leaning forward and hinging my hips back a lot more as I squat down. You can actually see my glutes on the second demonstration video lengthen a lot more, which means obviously there is a lot more glute activation with the second demonstration. Okay, so just to recap from the whole video, the 3 tweaks that you need to be doing with the Bulgarian Split Squat to make sure you're hitting your glutes are: number 1 is the distance between your front foot and the back foot that's elevated on the bench. The distance needs to be as far as your hips will allow you. Number 2 is going to be your foot position and the drive through your front foot. So you want to make sure that you're not rocking up onto your toe and that your heel is flat on the floor throughout the whole movement. And number 3 is going to be your hip hinge. So you want to make sure you're hinging your hips back as you lower yourself down into your squat. So make sure you try these 3 tips on your next glute day. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please make sure you click like and subscribe to our channel. See you next time.